Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, 4 people are dead after a shooting in Kansas.
Donald Trump gets another big endorsement, and this time it's from a former competitor.
Plus, Hollywood's biggest night is this weekend. I'll have your full preview in Hammer Time.
But first, Syracuse University has come down hard on a very popular item. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Monica Hammer.
And I'm Michael Tricarico. Syracuse University students are no longer allowed to have hoverboards on campus. That's our top story tonight.
You may have to find a new way to get to class in style. DPS, along with the Division of Campus Safety and Emergency Services, have placed a campus-wide ban on the use of hoverboards.
This ban comes from the concern that the hoverboards are prone to leaking fluid and causing accidental fires. More than 30 other colleges and universities have already banned the device.
SU says it will revisit this ban as they monitor research and hazards associated with hoverboards. JP Morgan Chase is donating nearly $14 million to Syracuse University's Institute for Veterans and Military Families. The banking company helped launch the program nearly 5 years ago. Donations will fund education and employment programs for veterans and their families. The $13.8 million check will be presented during halftime at the SU men's basketball game against NC State tomorrow in the Carrier Dome. And the Sports Matters discussion series came to Syracuse this week, and a mass of students and professors congregated in the Joyce Hergenhan Auditorium to hear 3 panels of speakers. The panels consisted of current sports journalists who offered insight on a wide range of issues, and Noah Wolf was there to hear it.
Matters panel series provided sports enthusiasts an opportunity to hear several sports journalism professionals give their take on hot-button topics in their fields. The panels tackled various themes, including covering women's events, the future of sports media, and blurred roles in covering sports. The event was a great opportunity for networking and learning about sports coverage.
Students who come to these have the opportunities to hear people answer questions they ought to be interested in the answers to. Maybe more importantly, to get up close and personal, as the saying used to go, shake hands with these people, ask their advice, make contacts.
12 speakers came to give their takes on sports issues. The star-studded rotation included ESPN's Chris Broussard, Jim Axelrod of CBS, and Chris Hannon of Fox Sports, among several others. All were eager to pass on their knowledge to students.
And so I just want to kind of return the favor and help a lot of the young people that are trying to, get to an ESPN or the New York Times, and just share with them some of my experiences that may, number one, help them understand the business and the landscape, but also put them at ease.
Students were provided with opportunities to network with each panelist after each speaking session and also during a midday luncheon. Chris Broussard was especially helpful, staying long after the program ended to chat with students.
You got to start small, eventually work your way to the top. That's exactly what he told me, and so Chris couldn't be any greater inspiration for me.
All 3 panels went in-depth in their respective topics, and many students had their questions answered. All learned something new about covering sports. For Citrus TV News, I'm Noah Wolf.
Police are investigating the shooting in Utica this afternoon. One person was killed and another injured. The injured victim was taken to St. Elizabeth's Hospital. The incident took place in Oneida Square at 1:26 p.m., and officials are still questioning potential suspects. Drinking water at all Utica city schools is shut off. High levels of lead were found in the water supply of 2 elementary schools. Investigations revealed why water testing has not been complete in more than 10 years. The school district is completing evaluations to clear the buildings to EPA standards. In the meantime, bottled water is being distributed to students and staff. And maple season usually begins around this time of year in central New York, but because of the mild winter, we've heard the season is starting earlier than usual. Rob Romano has more on how one local maple producer is dealing with the early start, and he will also tell you which business on Marshall Street benefits from local maple products.
On the southwest side of Otisco Lake in Preble, next to a farmhouse, one lady is passionate about tree sap.
It's here somewhere. I'm looking for the end. This is the sap. Want to taste?
Meet Barb Hamlin,
It's almost half full.
owner of Pied Piper Maple Farm in Preble. She says she started tapping trees for their sap 2 weeks earlier than usual because of warm temperatures over the past 2 months.
My first trees this year I tapped February 1st.
Hamlin doesn't only tap trees. She also has new equipment to help her with the syrup making process. Hamlin is collecting sap into a new tank this year, and she uses a reverse osmosis machine to concentrate the sugar in her sap and another machine to boil it. She says harvesting sap earlier in the season could make the syrup less sweet, but she uses her machines to get rid of excess water, giving her a higher concentration of sugar, preserving the sweetness.
Well, I go up between 8 and 12% sugar. So then you have a lot less water to boil off.
A number of syrup makers are located in central New York in addition to Pied Piper. A few of them include Cedar Vale Maple in Syracuse, Sweet Trees in Cicero, and Smoky Hollow Maple Products in Jordan. One waffle-making business near SU benefits from local maple farmers.
If you're looking to take advantage of locally harvested maple products, look no further than Pumpkin Waffles right here on Marshall Street, where all of the syrup on these waffles right now is all from Cicero.
All of the syrup served at Pumpkin Waffles is locally made. Jared Vryhoff works at Pumpkin Waffles, and he was a big fan of the sugary goodness.
I don't know, it's just perfect maple syrup. It's got nice color to it. It has perfect sweetness.
In the middle of March, all of New York State will be hosting Maple Weekends, where a number of businesses, including Pied Piper in Preble, will open up their stores to locals. Rob Romano, CitrusTV News.
Coming up, a look into the fight for the GOP presidential nomination.
Plus, details on the first elections in Iran after the historic nuclear deal.
And we saw some snow this morning. We're going to see some snow around 9 p.m. tonight, but this weekend will be clear. Will we see snow next week? Stay tuned to Citrus TV News live at 6 to see. We'll be right back.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
After ending his own presidential bid, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie made an unexpected endorsement.
The governor endorsed Donald Trump for president, saying that he is the best person to beat Hillary Clinton.
Trump, who is not big on endorsements, said Christie's support means a lot.
And continuing on the GOP thread, last night's CNN Republican debate got heated.
Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz doubled down on attacking frontrunner Donald Trump for his previous hiring patterns.
Trump shot back, calling Rubio a choke artist and Cruz a liar.
Kasich and Carson stayed out of the limelight, focusing on the issues instead of attacks. And 4 people are dead and 14 injured after a shooting in Kansas yesterday.
The gunman was shot and killed by police after driving through 2 towns and shooting at random.
He then opened fire at his workplace at the Excel factory in Heston.
Police have yet to find a motive.
SeaWorld is admitting to spying on animal rights protesters.
The organization says it was keeping an eye on credible threats to the company and its employees.
People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, more commonly known as PETA, accused the theme park of espionage last year when a worker identified one of SeaWorld's secret agents. 21 tons of food meant to be airdropped to Syrians has been lost.
Malfunctioning parachutes caused the majority of the pallets to miss their drop zone.
Other pallets are believed to have fallen in uncontrolled areas that include landmines.
The food was intended to feed 2,500 people for a month.
A United Nations official reported the group would attempt the drop again when possible.
Voters in Iran went to the polls today for the first time since the historic nuclear deal.
Iranians are choosing between current President Hassan Rouhani or another candidate suspicious of the West.
Rouhani is considered a moderate, and under his tenure, sanctions have been lifted to try and boost the economy.
Almost 55 million of Iran's 80 million people can vote in the election. And after the break, learn more about what weather is expected for this weekend.
Plus, we'll have your predictions for the Oscars this Sunday night.
Stay with us.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Snow flurries in Syracuse today, but we could be looking at some sunshine this weekend.
Nicole Dementri has this week's full weather forecast.
Yeah, guys, we did see some snow flurries this morning. As you could see, temperatures were below freezing up in the northeast, so a lot of parts of the northeast area were seeing some snow flurries, but nothing that amounted to anything too big. Now today, 21 degrees outside. It's feeling more like 8 degrees. It is very windy outside. It's 20 miles per hour, so please just cover up. You can get frostbite, just be careful about that. There will be bands of snow just coming in and out. As I mentioned earlier, it will come in around 9 p.m. tonight. Now moving into tonight, after that band of snow, 18 degrees, beautiful outside, perfectly clear, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, so the winds will die down a little bit, and just a 10% chance of snow. But otherwise, throughout the weekend, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. There's 2 pressure systems actually coming through, a high pressure system and a frontal system that is going to be held back, that is bringing in this beautiful warm weather that is going to make no clouds, absolutely everything clear. On Saturday, it's going to be 41 degrees, perfect for the NC State game tomorrow. Sunday, 55 degrees. It is February. It is going to be 55 degrees, 14 miles per hour wind, so it's probably going to feel more like 48, 50 degrees, but still beautiful for a late February day. And now moving into next week, there is going to be a system where the jet stream is coming from west to east. Sunday to Tuesday, we'll get some snow. On Friday, as the moisture returns from the Gulf of Mexico, creating some precipitation for us that we'll see Friday. But Monday, 50% chance of rain, 37 degrees. Tuesday, 44 degrees, lucky 44, 10% precipitation. Wednesday, it's going to be quite bad outside, 80% precipitation. 46 degrees, 22 at night. It's going to drop down cold, then stay cold for Thursday and Friday is when we're going to see that snow.
Yeah, so Nicole, you mentioned the snow's coming, but temperatures still could be in the upper 30 or lower 30s.
Yeah.
How long will the warm weather last until we get back into the teens?
The warm weather is really going to last until that next system comes in with the snow. So I would say around Wednesday, even a little into Thursday, but Thursday it's going to be 27. It's going to drop back down.
And tonight we're looking at pretty cold temperatures compared to what we've seen the last few days. What should we be wearing if we're heading outside? Do we need that big winter jacket?
Yeah, you definitely are going to need that big winter jacket. It will warm up, but we will get just occasional snow bands, so you want to just make sure you're prepared. Use a broom to shovel those walks, get off your cars and everything, you know, all the basics.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
A 26-year-old woman is the recipient of the first uterus transplant in the United States. This is the first transplant of the 10 planned by the Cleveland Clinic. The surgery helps women that do not have a functioning uterus or were born without one. The surgeries have already started in Sweden, where out of the 9 performed, 5 women have become pregnant, resulting in 4 live births. A new study finds obesity is linked to poor memory. Research in the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology found obese people had a tougher time recalling overeating in their last meal. Individuals with a larger body mass index scored 15% lower on memory tests than others. Different aspects of memory, including general knowledge, were affected. And now for all your entertainment news, here's Monica. It's Hammer Time.
This Sunday is Hollywood's biggest night of the year. Experts say there are some clear frontrunners for the 88th Academy Awards. Leonardo DiCaprio is expected to take home his first Oscar for his role in The Revenant. For much of award season, Spotlight has been the pick for Best Picture, but The Big Short and Room have been getting glowing reviews. The ceremony, hosted by Chris Rock, kicks off at 8 p.m. on ABC. Let the binge watching begin. All 13 episodes of Fuller House became available to stream at 12 a.m. this morning. The show begins with an updated intro song sung by Carly Rae Jepsen, then flashes forward 29 years. This time, younger sister Stephanie Tanner and best friend Kimmy Gibbler move in with DJ Tanner to help her raise her 3 sons. The show hasn't gotten great reviews, but it makes several nods to the original series that diehard fans will love. And now let's send it over to Chris Svensson for sports.
It's a busy week in the Carrier Dome. Coming up out of the break, I'll give you the rundown for everything Syracuse sports, including a preview of men's basketball. You won't want to miss it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help. but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
So Syracuse men's basketball returns to the hardwood tomorrow for their most important game of their season. The boys have been riding the bubble for the past few weeks, right on the edge of tournament play. ESPN's Joe Lunardi, the man in charge of bracket projections, has Q slotted in as a 10 seed as of right now. A loss versus NC State, however, could send that stock tumbling. It would continue the team's recent string of losses that has kept Syracuse from cementing its status as a strong Syracuse contender. Tyler Roberson in particular would need to dramatically improve if the Orange hope to take down the Wolfpack. He faced criticism from Jim Boeheim last week after posting 0 points and only 4 rebounds. Is this a game that the Orange can win? Absolutely. Is it a game they will win? Well, that's another story. Tip-off begins tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So while the men are trying to stop a slide, the ladies are peaking at the right time. Syracuse's women's basketball closed out its regular season last night with its program record 9th consecutive win. That's not all. This year has been one for the history books. The win at Boston College was the ladies' 23rd consecutive win, most in program history. Brianna Butler finished her career with 347 made three-pointers. That's the most in program history as well. And they recently climbed to number 18 in the recent AP poll. You guessed it, that's the highest rank in program history. Oh, and by the way, they led the nation in turnover margin and forced turnovers. A strong showing for a program that looks to have officially put the rest of the nation on notice. They'll glide into Greensboro, North Carolina for the start of the ACC tournament. Now in men's lax, the guys have opened up the season hot, averaging an 11-point margin of victory in their first 2 wins. Head coach John Desko still wants more from his guys and Jordan Evans going forward.
You know, we can get better. It's it's only our 3rd game of the season, so that's our goal is to try to get better. And we know that Army's not going to quit; they're going to play for 60 minutes. So we got to roll up our sleeves and get into this game and duke it out with them. And we got to play smart lacrosse.
Yeah, I think we're just taking it one game at a time. I mean, every week we've been focusing more on ourselves than looking ahead, and I think that's definitely been working for us so far. So I think the hard week of practice, focusing on what we can do better rather than what the other team does, is what's been helping us the most.
Looking now at women's lacrosse, Northwestern visits the Carrier Dome on Sunday. First face-off is scheduled for 12 o'clock. Head coach Gary Gate knows his team needs to be ready for anything when the Wildcats come to town.
They've changed up their defense in the first couple games this year, going to a straight zone, and we'll see if they play it against us. They've had they'll have a couple weeks to prepare. They did not have a game last weekend, so Kelly's been known to change it up and kind of throw something different at you. We're going to be prepared for a little bit of everything, but we're definitely ready for zone, and we're definitely ready for man-to-man.
Elsewhere, FIFA announced that Gianni Infantino has been elected its new president, replacing the embattled Sepp Blatter. Infantino, the former General Secretary of the Union of European Football Association, or the UEFA, aims to correct some of the internal corruption that has plagued soccer's international governing body. He's FIFA's first new president in 18 years. And in Boston, the ACC Indoor Track and Field Championships began yesterday. Syracuse opened up the tournament with a bang, setting the new school record in the distance medley relay. The men's team finished second, running 4,000 meters in just 9 minutes, 36 seconds. That time is nearly 9 seconds faster than the previous mark. Action continues today with the long jump, pole vault, and various distance running events. Saturday features the triple jump and the shot put.
All right, Chris, the women's basketball team locking up the 3 seed in the ACC tournament. I mean, how good is this team? What's the expectation towards the postseason?
Well, Tricky, right now, the women are playing phenomenally. They're the best team at Syracuse, in my opinion, that we've had all year, with that number slotted in at number 18. They're in the tournament. I expect them to perform well, but everybody's chasing UConn. UConn has been and will be the number 1 until they prove otherwise. What I really like is the turnovers that we mentioned earlier. Turnover margin, always a key to victory, and along with rebounds. But turnovers, they are phenomenal at getting their hands on the
Quentin Hillsman loves that press defense.
They've been great.
And switching it over to men's basketball, lost net last week against Pitt, and tomorrow playing NC State. What do you think is going to happen? You think the team's going to play well?
Well, it's weird because this team can come out and beat a team like Duke, which we've seen earlier in the semester, but they've also had some really kind of questionable losses. I think Pitt is a game that they had a chance to really make their mark, really take a stand and make a good impression on the voters who are going to be determining that we're going into the tournament. But if we're going to play well, Michael Benajay is going to have to continue to perform fantastically. He has not had a game where he has not gone under 10 points, meaning he scored double digits in every single game on this season. Tomorrow, NC State, I like us to play pretty darn well. I think that we can finish this one up on a strong note.
And the final time for the fans to say goodbye to fifth-year seniors Michael Benajay and Trevor Cooney. Thanks, Chris.
Definitely.
Coming up next, we'll have one last look at your weather.
And a magical creature may be on the loose. We'll be right back.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So, Nikki, give us a reminder tomorrow when we wake up. What kind of weather are we looking at?
When we wake up, it's going to be in the later 20s. It's going to go into the early 30s, and it's going to be, by game time rolls around, 38 degrees, feeling more like 28 because of the wind outside. Bundle up. It's going to be absolutely beautiful outside. No rain, no snow. So what more can you ask for? It's Syracuse.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nicole. A unicorn on the loose leads California police on a 3-hour chase. Yeah, you heard that right. Police received a 911 call of a unicorn running down the highway near Madero Ranchos.
The unicorn was actually the pony Juliet, who dresses up as a unicorn for parties. She was in the middle of a photo shoot when she decided to make a run for it. Residents and police worked together to rein in the pony. And that's all for our show tonight. For Chris Svensson and Nicole Dementri, I'm Monica Hammer.
And I'm Michael Tricarico. Good night and have a great weekend, Syracuse.